In this video, I'm going to be explaining how much it actually costs to start a clothing brand. I know in my last video I showed you guys how to start a clothing brand with $100, but for this video I'm going to be showing the realistic side and how much expenses usually are when you are first starting a clothing brand. Obviously this is my personal opinion, but I'm usually right, as well as I would recommend you guys to take these expenses into account as well. In this video I did not cover everything such as SMS and email marketing, but I pretty much covered everything that uses money. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is design. I know there's a handful of people that don't know how to design. Personally for me, I would recommend you to use Photoshop, but there is a lot of people that don't want to do that, which is fine. For those people that don't want to learn Photoshop, I would recommend a website like Upwork or Fiverr. I've done some research and usually the designs are $20 to $30 each. Like I said earlier, I really don't recommend this route. The reason why I don't recommend it is because if you are a clothing brand owner, you should know how to use Photoshop to a certain extent, as well as paying $20 to $30 per design every single time is just a waste of money. But I will say if you are going to buy a design, I would recommend you buy it from a Instagram page. Personally for me, I make all of my own designs and I edit it. It's not that difficult if you learn how to use Photoshop. That being said, for the price, I'm just going to put $200 because Photoshop in itself is $200. And let's just say that you bought a couple designs from a couple people. I'm just going to round it to $200. The second thing I will be discussing is the website. For the website, a lot of people use Shopify and Shopify is $30 a month. Another option is Squarespace, but it's pretty similar in price. It's around $30 as well. Another expense that you have to buy is a domain, which is basically the website. And the domain in itself is pretty cheap. It's around $10, so add that to the counter. And for the website design, a lot of people get help in this case. I know a lot of people want that animation intro to their website. Some people even just want a structured converting website. And I've done some research on Fiverr and Upwork and it's usually around $100. Personally for me, I would just recommend you do it by yourself, but this would depend on each person. And the cost as of now is $340. I am now going to be talking about supplies. There's a couple mandatory and non-mandatory supplies that you need to buy. The first thing is a poly mailer, and this goes around for $20 for 100, and this is something that you need to buy because how are you going to ship your packages? The next is a label printer, and this isn't necessary. You could just print it on a regular printer and tape it, but in my opinion label printers are way better. It's way more effective and you have to buy it eventually, so just why not buy it in the beginning and make it easier for yourself. And as far as the price goes, it's around $100 to $200. I wouldn't say you necessarily need to buy a $200 one. Anything under $100 in my opinion is a little bit sus, but anything between $100 to $200 is not that bad. And since you bought a thermal printer, you need to buy labels. As far as labels go, you can buy them off Amazon, but you can get it for free from UPS. It's pretty simple, just search it up. And another supply that you can add is custom poly bags. These aren't necessary, but it looks good, and it's around $100 for 100, so it's $1 per slip. It's not that bad, but it's another good touch for your clothing brand. Another thing that you should buy are size stickers. These are pretty cheap. It's around 15 for like 1,000. Business cards are also not necessary, but it looks good and you always want to have a business card, and it's 35 for 100, so it's not that bad either. The total cost as of now is $610. The next expense is samples. As far as samples go, most people use a Chinese manufacturer, so I'm just going to base it off that. And let's just assume that you have 3 to 4 items in a collection. And let's also assume that for the collection, it's 2 shirts and 1 hoodie. The average sample price per shirt is around $30 and per hoodie is around $50. And if you do the math, that's around $110, and shipping is around $50 plus tax as well. So that'd be around $160. But a lot of people recommend that you find at least 2 to 4 different manufacturers. So let's just assume that you find 2 different ones. That's already $320. And I'm also considering that the designs are simple, not some cut and sewn complicated design or some weird thing, because it's going to be more expensive that way. I will now be talking about ads. As far as Instagram goes, the minimum is $5 a day, so let's just assume that you do $5 a day for a week. That's around $35, which isn't too bad. Next is TikTok ads, which is $20 a day minimum. And let's just also assume that you do TikTok ads for a week. That's $20 a day, which is $140. The total cost overall was $1,105. Again, you don't need $1,000 to start. Personally, for me, I would say $500 is a good amount, but this video is for you guys to get a good gist of expenses that you might have to pay in the future. That is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.